welcome Sarah. Thanks, Sarah, for joining us. Sarah, you're our VA in the spotlight. So it's really great to have you as coming on and to have a quick chat about how you got started and your business, Clockwork VA Solutions, isn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so your business, how long ago did you launch? I've got to remember the dates now.
So thank you for having me, Ingrid. This is exciting, VA in the spotlight. So Clockwork VA Solutions. So I had my own VA business starting January 2017, working for a friend who ran her own business. But then I got wind of the VA Institute and was actually following you for a little while before that, and decided to join one of your courses last September 2020. And that's when I properly launched Clockwork VA Solutions. I got rebranded, you guys helped the website, and that's where it all really got tracking.
Yeah. Yes. And I remember you did a small group workshop.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. So it really hasn't. It's been 12 months since we started.
Already.
Together. Yeah. Wow. How that time has flown. So tell us about, like, before even we met you, what got you thinking about VA work? Just talk about that.
Sure. Well, I started my career as an executive assistant in Belgium, working for a big corporation. So it was a very reputable multinational. For close to 10 years, I was with them. And then my husband, my fiance at the time, and myself wanted a change of pace and different lifestyles. So we looked at moving to Australia. My boss got wind of it and he said, well, you're not leaving the company, you might leave the country, but you have to stay within the family, which was amazing. And so we got introduced to the company in Ballarat, Victoria. And I had a further 8 years with them, also as an executive assistant. And so that's how I got to come to Australia. That's where my background was, being a personal assistant and an executive assistant. But then we obviously left Ballarat because we wanted a different lifestyle, which is why we wanted to come to Australia in the first place. We moved to Queensland in 2010 with our then 3-year-old twins. And I thought about becoming a VA because I had all the foundational admin skills and thought, well, what better way to be a VA, work from home. I had friends that ran their own business that needed my admin skills. And it's not, I needed the flexibility because we didn't have a family nearby. They were all overseas. I couldn't just drop the kids off. They weren't grandparents or anything. So it was just the 4 of us. And so being a VA ticked all my boxes. That's how it happened.
When did you, so I'm really interested now, when you came across from Belgium and you started to work, you continued to work for the company that you've previously been employed with. So what year was that?
So we left Belgium in 2003.
Okay. And so you used the internet back then to, okay, so you're an early VA. Do you know that?
Absolutely. So I've been a PA since probably the mid-90s. Oh my God.
There you go. See? You didn't even realize that. That's amazing.
No. And I didn't realize when leaving that company that I could use those skills beyond them. Because we also had, after we moved to Queensland, we also had a little stint in New Zealand for my husband's work, where we were for two and a half, close to 3 years in Queenstown, New Zealand. And I was part of the local high school there, part of the admin team there. And I just continued being an admin and loved it. It was a part-time job and I could juggle it with my home duties and with the kids needing me. But then when we relocated back home, there was no work here in Queensland. It's not what you know, it's who you know here. And so I delved back into my admin skills and okay, my friends needed me. And I said, well, it was actually my friend that suggested, well, Sarah, I'm going to pay you for this. And I said, no. I can create stuff for you. I can help you. They don't have to pay me. She said, no. What's your rate? That's how it started.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's really funny because now, of course, we've had all this, you know, amazing changes. I mean, not so amazing for some people in that we've had to work from home. Like we've had to actually transition into, for many of us, have had to actually work from home as an employee.
Absolutely.
The way things have, you know, changed, and for a lot of people, it hasn't even gone back to office-based work, or maybe even a hybrid where you're kind of half in the office and half at home. But, you know, now people are understanding and recognizing that, you know, they're actually doing pretty much what VAs do, right?
That's right.
They're looking at it as an option. I'm really interested though, and it's a big question. A lot of people, it's one of the first questions that people ask is how do I find clients? Now you talked about people that you knew. So tell me about that process, if you can actually think back to then, like what did you do to actually start to, once you realized you could charge for it, what did you do?
So I remember having a little part-time job when I was working with my friend as a VA. She was already paying me, but I was still needing an extra income. So I was having a little part-time job that I didn't like. I had left it. So I was back home on a day that I wasn't supposed to be home. And so I was working, I was looking at courses online, and in the background was the Morning Today show. And it was just on in the background, and something caught my attention, and it was an upcoming segment with Will Smith, who was going to talk about a book, and a friend of his to introduce it. And he was talking about this relationship expert. And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. So I turned it up and continued listening. I started following her on socials. And lo and behold, a week later, she was looking for a VA. Very serendipitous, isn't it? It's complete fluke. And so I contacted this relationship expert through her operations manager. And they had me done a few tests, and they said, okay, we love your vibe. We love everything you sent through. Can we have you do an audit of our socials? And they had given me the platforms they were working on, but not how many socials they had. And they said, we give you 2 days, see what you can come up with. And so I said, oh, how do I do this? I've never done an audit of social. So started working, got my thinking cap on, and within 2 hours, I had sent them all I thought they needed. Next day I was hired.
Wow.
My first real client was someone in California working for the stars. And that was crazy, just crazy. So that's how I got my first real client. And I organized travel for this lady and helped her build her community in Facebook groups. She had lots of Facebook groups because she was doing lots of courses. All that got canceled due to COVID. And so I ended up working 6 months with them, which was the best 6 months ever. And they ended up giving me a fantastic testimonial. But right now, everything is online and everything is through Zoom. So all that has stopped. But in the meantime, I kept learning. I gained other clients. I worked with you guys. There's the job leads that I responded to, and I got some really good clients that I work for now that came through job leads through the VA Institute. Yeah. And other than that, communities, Facebook community. So I kept posting on Facebook community. Whenever a client wanted me to create a flyer for them, I would post that flyer on the community, say, this is what I've just created for such and such. Does anyone need a flyer? And I just introduced package deals, and people started contacting me, and that's how it came about.
Yeah. So you just were obviously quite proactive in getting out there, and like we always say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. The worst that can happen is people don't respond or do nothing.
That's right.
It's free to do that.
And I'm of the my attitude is you can get so many no's, and then yeses will come. So it's fine. It's fine if people don't react. It's fine if you get a no, you just move on. Don't linger with it. Just move on. Use that time for something else. Something is about to happen. It's not the right time, and just keep learning, keep evolving. That's my mindset.
Yeah.
And so that it's a positive attitude, and it's an attitude of gratitude, and just keep evolving.
Yeah. I mean, like being a VA, I know, looking back on my journey, how much my life has changed and how much choice I've got now. And, you with, how old are your kids now?
Right now, they're 14 and a half. So they're in high school now, not needing me as much anymore, but still working from home and being present and available, of course. But they're 14 and a half. They love having me around, and, whenever needed, I can drop anything. I'm flexible. This shop is all about flexibility. It's all about balance. Which is so freaking awesome,
You can't replace that. I mean,
no.
There's things that I've been able to do that I would never have been able to do when I was working in a employed position.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it just gives you that much more ability to be flexible and be there.
And just being your own boss. It's balance, setting healthy boundaries.
We've talked a lot about boundaries. It's interesting. That's the thing that I guess we don't appreciate until we get into our own business that we have to set up boundaries.
Absolutely, because clients will contact you at any time of day, on the weekend, and I'm clear in my service agreement, which I got through the VA Institute as well. Thank you for that. Service agreement highlights, these are my hours, 9 to 4, Monday to Friday, no weekends. If there's anything urgent that needs to be done, mark it clearly in the subject line. But they know my hours, and they know I work I do proper time management. So I work in set blocks, like hour blocks. And they can have all my attention during that time. There's another client waiting behind them as well. So I'll juggle things and everything will get done. And I rather, under promise and over deliver. So I'm always on task, and, Clockwork, I'm a Clockwork VA solution.
You're very branded. You got your clock in the background. I like that.
And the hashtag social media that I got from my daughter.
Yeah, so good. Is there anything like that if anyone were to ask you, about your journey, is there anything kind of that you would like to impart? Because we're going to wrap it up in a few minutes, but I just wanted to give you an opportunity to, if there's anything that you could pass on to people who are thinking.
Sure. Sure. Like, don't underestimate your skill set. Everyone has got their skill set. You just need to find what it is that you love doing, what it is that you're great at, what it is that is needed, and just, baby steps.
Yeah.
Just take baby steps. Like, nothing's going to be achieved straight away the best way. You will learn through mistakes, and when there's nothing happening, just learn. Keep evolving. Keep checking what's out there, and put yourself out there. Like, I know networking is number one for this business, and I don't think I'm particularly great at that, but I'm great at responding on communities and saying, hey, can I suggest that? Or, hey, there's a little package that I have put together. I don't like networking face to face, but I'm good with that. And people can contact me straight away, and I'm there. I'm immediately available. So just baby steps, believe in yourself, and everyone's got a great skill set. So start with that.
Yeah, I think that's so true. And it's interesting because the admin foundations that most of us have, well, the majority of VAs will have an admin background of some kind.
That's right.
Those skills are transferable across many different industries. And, you've obviously found what you love to do, which is, that in itself is amazing, because, that old saying of, if you're doing something you love, then you
don't work.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're working. And that's true. If you do something that you're passionate about and you love, then you do it really well. But also it's like, I love it. I love every day that I get up and do this stuff,
And I love to see my clients succeed as well. That's a little nod to me in the background, because we're the little miracle workers behind the scenes,
The problem solvers.
And like you say, those transferable skills, we don't think of them as hugely important or hugely a big deal, but they are.
Yeah.
Because all those entrepreneurs that want to work with us, they don't have time for that. They don't want to spend time doing all those nitty gritty things. Well, that's why we are here, and they need us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I found exactly what brings me joy, what brings my family joy, and I can keep evolving, and also working with other VAs, like through the VA Institute. Like I've connected with perhaps 10 VAs. I'm working together with 2, and just, what I can't do, they're great at, and vice versa. And we apply for job leads together and join forces.
We always say the community is very collaborative. And I think when I started, it was like, oh, this surely is like, I'm seeing it through rose-colored glasses. It couldn't really be like this. It's really like this.
It is. Yeah. And we're not putting down any other VAs. We're lifting each other up, and we're working together. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go back to the workforce outside of my home. I do miss having an office around me, but I've got the flexibility. I get calls during the day. I email. I have Zoom calls. I'm busy with clients.
Yeah, amazing how things have changed. But look, it's a pleasure to talk to you, Sarah, because, I know we've talked a little bit over recent weeks, which is why I went, I've got to talk to Sarah. I've got to get her on VA in the Spotlight. But no, it is a pleasure to talk to you because you're kicking some amazing goals and you are really inspirational, even though it might be hard to hear. But it is. But yeah, we wish you all the best, and I know you'll continue to drive success. But thank you for your time. Really appreciate it this morning.
Well, thanks for interviewing me. I feel very privileged, and this feels a bit exclusive. So, okay, I better get back to work now. But thank you, Ingrid, because a lot of it was also thanks to the VA Institute. You gave an extra foundation with documentation that was needed. Logo creation. So I wouldn't be in this spot without the VA Institute. So thank you.
You are welcome. That's what I love doing. There's my passion. So. All right. Well, have a great day, Sarah. And I'm sure anyone watching this, if you want to get in touch with Sarah, we'll have her details. So I'm sure you could email her if you had any questions about what Sarah does and how she got started. So thanks again, Sarah. Have a lovely day. Appreciate it.
And you. Thank you.